A rose is a rose. By any other name, would it still smell as sweet? I don't know, being like tiny, short roses, you know. What did Shakespeare say about that? So, we're transplanting this little thing today, this little guy. What do they call this? A little 4-inch mini rose piece. I bought it from the grocery store a couple days ago. It looked better than this. It's really, the problem is what it's in. If you look at it, it is a paper cup full of water, and this thing is just soaking wet. And we didn't add any water. It's soaking wet from the grocery store like this. They just overwater them to keep them flush. We're going to put it in this pot right here. That's the one the wife picked out. She had it in the basement the side. It has one little hole in the bottom, so I'm going to add a few stones around it just to keep dirt from filling it up. And actually, since there's still shit in it from last time, I'm going to wash this out first. Be right back. Like I said, there's only one drain hole in it and it was already clogged. So we just add a few rocks down around in the center to cover that hole. Now, once again, my wife doesn't water her plants well. So we cut up 2 sponges for this little plant. Which may seem like a lot, but it's not, trust me. Big pot. Add a little bit of dirt. It won't take much dirt with that little pot and this little pot here. The little plant, I mean, in this little pot, it should all fit right in. Alright, now we work this out of the cup. Luckily, with it being this wet, it should just fall right out. Ouch, it does have thorns. So, little plant, big thorns. Oh, I'm surprised it don't have root rot, it's so wet. Put it in the middle. Get some more soil. Pack the soil in around it. They call it miniature rose. Still take your fingers and push them down in like that around the soil. And even though the root ball was soaked, and probably going to get root rot if we didn't transplant right away, I add a little water because this soil is so dry after sitting in a bag. I'll wet it, wait a few minutes, wet it again. And that's how you transplant a grocery store plant and turn it into a real one. I never buy her flowers. I just always buy live plants. Buying flowers, flowers are already dead. Live plants are the way to go. Especially something like this. I mean, it's flowering, it'll grow. I've had a couple of these that were supposed to be dead at the end of this in a couple weeks. Still got them years later. Now, since this thing was so overwet, and you tell by the yellowing on the leaves, I'm going to put it in the grow tent so that it gets maximum light for the next 24 hours. That'll let it absorb all the water out of its root ball. It'll still give it a shit ton of energy, so it'll boost right back up and develop new roots. Watch this brightness. I grow the best weed in the world. The absolute best weed in the world. Pink dandelion. I'm gonna set that right in the middle. Whew, it has a pretty color in there. But look how red those instantly popped into this light. Sitting down in there for a day, he'll be happy. You can find out more about the dandelions at pinkdandelioninfo.com. They're good for the bees and the butterflies. We do those to help the environment. That's what's in the tent, if you've ever been wondering. All right. You got to know how to transplant your grocery store plant. That mini roses still bite like big roses. And you get to know what was finally in the mystery tent. With that, puff, puff, pass, no parking on the grass. I'm out of here. The absolute best weed in the world. I bought it from the grocery store.